Hello all my Kenvians, and welcome to the first discovering video I have recorded in a very long time, an annoyingly long time. But if you saw the previous video, you know that I am now, well, and as you can see, the scenery has certainly changed. I am now in the new PapaKennMedia home office. We've taken one of the bedrooms here and have converted it into an office / recording space here for the channel. And yeah, what I've decided to do today, as you can tell by the video title, is I'm going to finally finish the serial of the Daleks, which I've spent way too long on, far too long on. I really do apologize for that, you all. And just so you know, I'm going to be trying, just a little something different here to see what you all think. And that is, I'm going to be doing essentially a more laid-back version of the Discovering series. For instance, I'm not going to be taking any notes for this. Everything that I talk about will be off the top of my head, and I will have some, a little bit of discussion in between the episodes. So that should hopefully, sort of fill in the gaps there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this. Hopefully everything goes well with the recording. And yeah, I'm very happy to be back at this and bringing you all some new content finally again. But yeah, we're going to be starting with the Ordeal, aka part 6 of the Daleks, and then the Rescue. And just so you know, this is literally the first time I am recording anything Discovering-wise, so the TV volume may be a bit of an issue. I will do my best to even it out. But the subtitles should be on, so that should help in case it's a little bit hard to hear. But anyway, I've talked too much. Let's begin the Ordeal.
What is it? What happened to Alydon?
He's dead. He got eaten by a magical whirlpool of death.
Alydon. The things we have to put out of action is the radio and television waves. They've obviously got complete coverage in the round city. They don't leave much to chance. We must presume they don't leave anything to chance.
They have pictures of
the fools didn't even think of Wi-Fi.
Then we must stop the pictures. Remember, the Daleks aren't very mobile.
23 days.
Unacceptable.
Shortest possible time. Yes.
Yes.
It is too long.
That's what she said.
We must abandon the...
Unless you think you have.
No, your need is greater than mine.
Plus she gets to look at that ass. Sorry.
Are recording great activity amongst the our people. Are there pictures? No, reception is bad.
Even in the future.
Our instruments. We must keep on.
In that direction. Yes, I see. Will you go ahead, will you? Go along, Thal.
Meanwhile, I'll murder them all.
Shoot them a thing or two.
Kidding, of course. Or am I?
So far, so good. Seems to me.
I redirect the ranger scopes
Now.
If we track them by their vibrations, we can take them by surprise.
Good vibrations. Copyrighted sweet sensations.
Now give yourself a good long run and jump.
Can't tell me what to do, you're not my mother. I say, old chap.
Help me! Help me!
Oh. Okay, that's actually a pretty good little cliffhanger, honestly. If I do say so myself. So, The Ordeal. I mean, clearly, it's... I mean, I would say not a lot happened. It wasn't exactly like, you know, action-packed. There wasn't a lot going on. But there were some pretty interesting scenes, such as when the Doctor and Susan got captured by the Daleks. The first time, I guess, we really start to see, like, the true, just evil nature of the Daleks. Like, they had been showing it. They were talking about wiping out the Thals before. But I think this time, just with the plan to not even, you know, do a neutron bomb, but just to emit, or as they put it, bombard the atmosphere with radiation, it's pretty brutal. And as the Doctor said, it's just murder. I mean, they're essentially going to be committing genocide against the Thals and, I guess, any living creatures that might actually still be out there. So yeah, that's really interesting element of that episode. Other than that, you know, the time spent with Barbara and Ian and the other Thals, it was actually fairly interesting. I will give them credit, again, because I know I poke fun at it a lot, but a lot of, they really do a good job with what they had back then. Because they have to portray them being in these, you know, in these gigantic caverns, and they have to do so with a lot of specialized angles. They don't have like actual, or they didn't have like an actual gigantic set with which to do all this. So I definitely give them kudos for what they were able to accomplish with, you know, what little they did have. And while, again, the inside of the caverns, what was going on, wasn't greatly exciting per se, again, I really did enjoy what they did give us. I enjoyed that little bit of back and forth with the coward Thal. Curious to see what happens with him. By the way, one thing that definitely did kind of confuse me there, and maybe it was just part of the filming, but when the last one jumped across, it looked like he did make it, but then the guy that's playing Ian, to me, it looked like he shoved him. So, I mean, maybe it was just one of those things where, you know, they did their best to make it look like, you know, he didn't quite make it, or like Ian was trying to pull him in. But to me, it definitely looked like a push. So, let me know if anyone else thinks that, honestly. I'm legitimately curious. But yeah, I just, that was just a really strange element to that episode right there at the end. I did find it interesting that they kind of touch upon the relationship between Ian and Barbara. One of the Thals, I don't know their names, one of the Thals asking if she always does what Ian says, and there being a kind of romantic / kind of sexual tension between, well, I mean, obviously Ian and Barbara, but also Barbara and that one Thal guy, possibly. It's hard to say. But, oh, and I also do want to apologize. I don't know whether I'm going to put it in the full reaction or just the, or like, I don't know if I'm just going to put in the full reaction or also include some of that in the trimmed down version for YouTube. But I apologize for some of my perverted comments. It comes off the top of my head, and I'm immature, so I apologize for that. But okay, yeah, I am ready to move forward and watch this final episode and see what's going to happen. I'm legitimately curious and eager to find out what's going to happen. I mean, obviously the Doctor and Ian and Barbara and Susan all make it, but you know, what's going to happen with the Thals and the Daleks in this particular story? Oh, and by the way, I actually have a like a little Doctor Who shelf up here, mostly Doctor Who. And I'll include a little picture of it here in the video as this is playing. I love the way I've set up this office. I really enjoy it. Okay, here we go.
It's too smooth.
Is he talking about the rope or his face?
You fool!
Again, I know they were very limited in what they could do, but that just struck me as funny.
Senseless, evil, killing. I won't explain its secrets to you, and its philosophy of movement.
Now we know of the machine. We can examine it for ourselves.
We are very stubborn.
Operated without me.
Every problem has a solution.
Like your mother.
Vibration locator record.
Yes, we could go back to the lift, but...
Get back!
I heard nothing. Okay, I have no peripheral vision. My greatest foe, peripheral vision. Blind spots.
Stop the Daleks. Begin countdown. 100. Beginning now.
I'm not complaining because clearly it gives them time to get out of the situation. But why would you start a countdown at 100? It just doesn't make sense to me.
They're breaking down harder, increasing the pressure.
Under pressure, pushing down on me. Sorry. My suction cup.
Thank you, Diane.
What are you up to, Susan?
It's a present from Diane, and isn't it gorgeous?
It was until you got it all dirty.
Not yet, but I...
Goodbye, Diane. Thank you.
Goodbye, Diane. Goodbye.
She wanted to hug him and touch his bum.
Got my specimens.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything.
I wish...
Barbara! We're waiting.
Well then.
Come along, Ganadus.
Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Oh. Uh-oh. TARDIS, what have you done this time? Ah, the edge of destruction. Ah, well, cool. Cool. So yeah, that's the Daleks, the end of the Daleks. And that actually, that brings up a question in my mind, and maybe this is something that gets answered in the future, or maybe it's just sort of a, before they had the phrase, a timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly thing. Or wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey kind of thing. I got it backwards. The phrase traveled in time. But anyway, if the Daleks died at that point, I know, sweetie, I'll try to be not so loud. But if the Daleks are actually dead at that point, could it be that the Thals actually become a new generation of Daleks? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how that works. That that guess is probably so far off it's not even funny. But it just seems interesting. But then again, you know, the Daleks have been essentially wiped out in just the stuff that I've seen, but they still come back. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the explanation is for the next time they do appear, though. Excuse me, that should be rather interesting. But yeah, as a whole, I really liked this this serial, The Daleks. I mean, obviously, it's like the first. It was the first serial that, to the best of my knowledge, really got people invested after the relatively lackluster first serial, after the initial episode anyway. But yeah, I mean, it had some ups and downs. You know, some of the low parts were definitely really slow. But I feel like, for the most part, it was pretty solidly done. And again, like I mentioned after the previous episode, I'm impressed with what they were able to accomplish with the limited technology, the limited resources that they had while making this show. Now again, I have seen, what was the, it's not a documentary, but sort of a retelling of the beginning, the early days of Doctor Who, An Adventure in Space and Time. That, you know, having watched that, that gives a good perspective on all that. But again, just watching it, sort of watching it as a televised stage play, and using the imagination a little bit, again, they did pretty darn good. Some of the acting, admittedly, was not so great, including the cowardly Thal. I can never remember their names. But yeah, again, you know, some of the acting leaves a little bit to be desired, but as a whole, I gotta say, I really did enjoy this, and it has me looking forward to the next serial, which, what was it called? The Edge of Destruction, which I think is only a 2-part serial. And then after that, my DVD will be completed, and I'll be looking into some other avenues of getting the Doctor Who serials as I go along. I believe a few people provided some websites for me to check out that will provide like the upcoming serials. And I do want to get at least a few more in, since, you know, I'm finally getting back into the run of things before making the transition over to Torchwood Season 2. So I'll definitely get through at least, you know, a few more serials of, you know, the first Doctor. And then, you know, we'll move along as we go, and I will continue the journey into classic Doctor Who. But yeah, again, I apologize it took so long to get this out, but I'm so glad I finally got around to it, and very much looking forward to just continuing these early days, the beginning of Doctor Who. It's just so intriguing, and I love it. But yeah, everyone, please do let me know what you think about, you know, this sort of style of doing the videos. Again, you know, as always, not scripted, just doing the reaction portion, and then just my thoughts as I go along. You know, it doesn't leave a lot of room for professionalism, shall we say, but I feel like it's something that I can do that can allow me to get more content out to you all, while also working on some of the other projects that I'm doing. So again, I'm really looking forward to hearing what you all have to say. I look forward to hearing what you have to say about these 2 episodes, just your thoughts on them in general. And, well, in general, let me know if you have any questions regarding the future of discovering classic Doctor Who, and, you know, possibly some of the other series that have been going on. Now, just so you know, regarding discovering Steven Universe and discovering Once Upon a Time, I'm getting back to those. It's a process, and I still have a lot of other stuff to take care of, including getting the old office cleared out before the end of the month. But, alright everyone, have a wonderful day or night, whenever you may be watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Later days!